Hey guys, what's up? Mike here with my actually second video of the night, or yeah, second video. I'm actually gonna be reviewing this time. I was thinking about what we're reviewing. Bouncing. I picked up a couple books this week. Um, I actually missed one. I had to go back next week and pick it up. Hope they still have copies. I'm actually gonna be reviewing probably one of the probably the best Spider right so far of the year. This Spider-Man, the second part of Dan Slott's current time hopping sort of Spider-Man, time travel-y Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 679. I'm getting really psyched for plus all the teasers Marvel's releasing for Ends of the Earth, Ends of the World. I think it's Ends of the Earth. I'm getting really psyched for Spider-Man this year. This issue is like was amazing. I actually like the cover a lot too. It's really dynamic. I like it. The colors, Spider-Man holding the clock, trying to stop it. So last time we left off, basically Peter's friend at work at Horizon Labs, he created a door to the future essentially. And what basically it did, when you stepped through, you were removed from the timeline. You stepped out of the timeline and you went to a future where you weren't there for 24 hours. What does that mean? If you weren't there for 24 hours, when Peter stepped through, New York was utterly destroyed. So saying because Peter Spider-Man apparently without Spider-Man in New York City for 24 hours in this situation, the world's going to end. New York's going to be destroyed. So Peter went back, and him and Grady are trying to stop this from happening. So they're currently it's 3:10 when we start off. That's when the watch is frozen that Peter found in the future, and he's like, it's 3:11 right now. What's happening? Why is there no explosion? And then he figures out it's an analog watch, so it doesn't show PM or AM. It just shows 3:10 or 3:11, so it could have been 3:11 AM. And Grady is upset. He's just like, "Are you kidding? We did all this work. You know, you don't need me. I'm not important." And Grady's like, "You know what? I'm gonna see what happens when I go into the future into Bad Tuesday." He goes through and he sees dead Spider-Man, and he's just like, "Okay, this." He's like, I see. I guess I am important." Um, So they continue trying to. They have a newspaper from the future, and they're trying to get Spider-Man to do everything on it. And right now, it's a parade. Silver Sable's there. She's apparently the leader of a country, Simicarian, Simcarian, some Eastern European. She's like East. You know how it is with Silver Sable. She's Eastern European, and she sees Spider-Man out the corner of her eye. You know, because wherever Spider-Man goes, there's gonna be danger, and she slips away from Jonah, who's there with her at the parade, and they see Flag Smasher. Who's Flag Smasher? You asking? I don't know. I don't remember Flag Smasher, but he's about to set off a bomb in New York. It's pretty much a mini, I guess a mini like nuke, I guess, or a mini super explosive. Spidey and Silver Sable just whoop the shit out of Flag Smasher, and it's some interesting dialogue. It's actually really good. There's a point where Flag Smasher's like, "This is my robot hand. You think you can stop me?" And Peter's like, "You didn't even read here. It says made in China. Buy next time, buy American." Which is I always love that line when people say it in movies. Um, they said in The Dark Knight when they tried to kill Aaron Eckhart, Harvey Dent in the courtroom scene. He's like, next time, buy American. So they beat the shit out of Flag Smasher, and Peter manages. Silver Sable is about to disable the bomb, and Peter's like, "I got this. Let the dude with Spider Sense do this." And while Peter's about to, he uses Spider Sense to find which wire is safe, and he does it. He disarms the bomb. Jonah's there. Jonah's just Jonah. This can't be nothing. This is not going to be allowed in newspaper because of, um, just because of Jonah's a douchebag, and he apparently a nuke can't be allowed to be snuck into New York City on his watch as mayor. So Sable kisses Spider-Man for saving her people, and Grady. So we go back to Horizon Labs, and Grady has quarantined off a part of the think tank. That's where they work, and one of their coworkers, Bella, he sort of says this area is contaminated, quarantined off, and she's like, if it's biochemical, if it's like biological, like that's her thing. She knows how to do that. But Grady sort of pushes her away, and she storms off angry. So Peter keeps going around and swinging around trying to save the world. He goes to the office of Joe Robertson, Robbie Robertson. He's a publisher. He's a current publisher of the Daily Bugle, and he tells him to put all the stuff he did in newspapers and help. And Madam Web shows up. She's like, "You can't do this. You can't tell people you're altering the future because it would create a paper that he wouldn't see until tomorrow, changing the. It's just shenanigans. Yeah, because it's already from a good future. Telling Robbie to print this newspaper would create another future where it's a different newspaper. So they walk, or Spidey swings off, and Madam Web's like, just forget about this. So essentially, it's gonna be they decide, you know what? You want to stop that Tuesday? Peter's gonna save everything. He saves someone from dying, like the smallest butterfly will help. He stops a sign from falling, I believe. He Heimlich someone. He catches a tiger. Um, he stops a carjacking, and when he saves the tiger, these people from the tiger at a circus, he's like, no one's gonna call this and tell the mayor or can call a newspaper, and these kids are just like, or these dudes are just like, you just in it for the headlines. He's like, that's sad. It's a little funny. Um, and then Mary Jane calls, and I love Dan Slott bringing Mary Jane back into Spider-Man's life right now, and it's I've missed Spider-Man and Mary Jane so much. Like brand new day, one more day, brand new day, one moment in time. I hate Joe Quesada and GMS for ruining Spider-Man for me. I stopped reading Spider-Man after one more day. I was just like fuck it. Like um a little tangent. Peter Parker knows Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, and Tony Stark. One of them is magic. I'm pretty sure one of them just magic her life, Aunt May. And he knows two of the smartest men in the world. They could just go back in time and save her. It's just so stupid. Um, so MJ calls and she wants to get something to eat. And she's like, the world's not gonna end if we have dinner if we don't like eat, get coffee. Peter sort of is like, son of a bitch. So he shows up, and these guys are, hanging out talking. And MJ sort of tells him, she gives him an idea of how to figure it out. She tells him, she has faith in him because it's not because he got bit by a real spider and he's Spider-Man. It's because he's Peter Parker, and Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and how he grew up as Peter Parker and all the trials and things that he's gone through as Peter Parker. Um, and Peter Parker's a good person at heart, and that's why she has faith in him because she knows Peter Parker. It doesn't matter if Spider-Man is Peter Parker who's a good person. And then Peter realizes he's like, it's what I'm supposed to do, Peter, not Spider-Man, because he's done everything Spider-Man's done, but he hasn't done anything that Peter's supposed to do. Peter's supposed to be in the universe. So he runs off, and Mary Jane ends their conversation with the go get him tiger, her cat, her nickname for Peter forever. So Peter shows up at the door, and they explain it that it has nothing to do with Spider-Man. Actually, it has something to do with Peter. Peter jumped through it, and the only reason it hasn't turned back to normal time is they haven't turned the door off. And it's because it was a door, they left a door on that had the power to rip open time. It's gonna explode. So they turn it off. All right. Yeah, they turn it off, and it's just like, whoa, shenanigans. So they turn it off. No more future door. That thing would have blown up. Um, so they take apart the door, and you flash to all the other characters. Um, Madam Web with her daughter, and she's Madam Web's like, it's in the snow. You shouldn't go outside. And it starts snowing, and Peter, Grady, and all the think tank people are together, and we see Max Godel. He's the Max Model, 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 model with two L's, modal, whatever. He's going to work. And this is actually the interesting part, how the issue ends off. He actually leaves this newspaper on the table, and then you see Grady come in and take the newspaper, and then Max is like, Where'd my newspaper go?" And that's how the issue ends. So I actually love this issue a lot. This issue was pretty good. It was pretty amazing, actually. Not to use a weird, Amazing Spider-Man amazing. Um, it was really solid with the writing and just the whole idea of time travel. They explain it. Dan Slott did such a great job of explaining time travel. It's just like it's because the way he explained time travel, just in general, just like overall, like he knows how to write Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I love when it's Peter Parker, sometimes more than when it's Spider-Man. Sometimes I wish there was more Peter Parker, but Dan Slott really balanced it well, and I love Peter's interactions with all his in the two-part arc with his coworkers and with his friends and his family and loved ones and stuff. It's just been so awesome. So Dan Slott, awesome job with the writing. This was pretty solid. I actually love two-part arcs. Sometimes more than I love long arcs, and this was a great job. And I'm getting psyched for the next Spider-Man. It's gonna be a couple. Like I think there'll be another two-part arc with us or Johnny Storm, and then it's gonna be the I think the 4 or 5 issue event. Ends of the Earth, which I'm getting really psyched for. The teasers have come out, and it's getting really really psyched. It's just like this man. He will go to the ends of the earth to save you. He will go to the ends of the earth to protect you. And apparently there's a new costume, and it is interesting. And no one's sure if it's really Spider-Man under it. Um, But yeah, issue was great. The artwork was done by Humberto Ramos. Oh, Humberto Ramos. Edgar Delgado and Victor Olazaba. And it was actually really good. It was solid. I feel like Humberto Ramos does better when it's on shorter arcs because as arcs get long or as events get longer, it gets a little sloppy his lines because he only does lines. He doesn't do the inking, um, and he doesn't do the coloring. But it was just amazingly good issue this week for Amazing Spider-Man. Like unbelievably good. It was just awesome. I'm just so psyched for Spider-Man. I can't get over how good this two-part art was. And so I'm gonna be giving this issue actually a 4 out of 5. Not 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. It was just that good. Why am I not giving it a 5? There are certain points where they don't really, where it gets a little too convoluted. Um, Especially with the whole Peter trying, not where he's like going around, but it gets a little messy story wise a little bit. I do want to say, um, yeah, it goes yeah it gets a little just out of hand a little bit sometimes with just the how chaotic like Peter is, which is not bad, but at the same time, um, I'd expect for a little more like thinking and subtlety and a lot more like um I guess being he's a superhero, he's one of the smartest men and smart he's super smart. It just gets a little like it gets a little messy in details. But other than that, it was good. Dan Slott did a great job on this two two arc series or event, and I enjoyed it a lot. Here's hoping that someone else steps up and does a good time travel story. It's hard. Time travel stories are really hard. So yeah, so 4.5 out of 5. It's a great issue, really great issue. A little heavy on the dialogue, not a big deal. That and the dialogue gets a little messy. Dialogue gets a little messy, and it sort of is hard to follow during the two-page splashes the way it's laid out. I mean, Vic Humberto Ramos does a great job of drawing Spidey doing Spidey stuff, but just the way it's laid out, it's a little hard to follow. Like you have to go this way, and sometimes you might read half of it, like get lost. But anyway, great issue. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm really excited for what's Marvel's doing. I'm gonna start reviewing more DC books. I read a lot of Marvel. I guess because the only DC books I read are Flash, Justice League, and Batman. And at the same time, I'm probably gonna do a Flash. Actually, the Flash just ended its first major arc, and Justice League ends its first major arc soon. I'm just gonna do super reviews of the in like parts of those two series. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a great weekend.